This week on the Rockbridge Report, we'll tell you what's changing in your tap water. Super Tuesday is not far away. We'll look ahead to the day Virginia votes in the primaries.
I'm Claire Spots. We've got warmer weather coming our way. I'll tell you about that and our 5-day forecast coming up.
And later on, we'll take a look at whether Lexington will be welcoming any refugees. All that and more today on the Rockbridge Report.
Live from the campus of Washington and Lee University with news for Rockbridge County, this is the Rockbridge Report.
Welcome to the Rockbridge Report. I'm Polly Niskova.
And I'm Keenan Willard.
You're not supposed to notice a difference in taste, but there's a new chemical to treat your water. The Maury Service Authority started using the new chemical in December. Director Jerry Higgins said that residents won't notice a difference, but the new chemical is cheaper and reduces the sludge byproduct that water treatment produces. He also believes he can reduce the brown water that city residents sometimes see. That color is caused by iron in the water.
Today, Trump is trading jabs with someone not running for president, the Pope. According to Pope Francis, Donald Trump's desire to build a wall isn't in line with Christianity.
A person who thinks only about building walls, wherever they may be located, and not building bridges, is not a Christian. This is not in the gospel.
For a religious leader to question a person's faith is disgraceful. I'm proud to be a Christian, and as president, I will not allow Christianity to be consistently attacked and weakened.
The next president of Washington and Lee University was announced last weekend, just an hour before the start of mock convention. W&L's Board of Trustees unanimously elected William Dudley to take over for current President Ken Ruscio. Dudley will start in January 2017. Dudley is the provost and a philosophy professor at Williams College. He's native of Charlottesville and has been the Williams provost since 2011. Ruscio recently announced that he will move on from this presidency and to another one. He plans to take the position of president of the Virginia Foundation for Independent Colleges starting in April 2017.
2 weeks ago, Washington and Lee settled a lawsuit involving a former student. The student, simply called John Doe, sued the school after he was expelled for sexual misconduct in 2014. He claimed the school conducted a gender-biased investigation. The judge granted his request to dismiss the case with prejudice. This means he can never file another case based on these claims. The university's general counsel said the lawsuit was settled to the mutual satisfaction of both parties.
The Democrats are making a final push in Nevada, which holds its Democratic caucuses Saturday. And new polling indicates a very tight race. CNN's Reed Binion reports.
In a state known for making the odds, the numbers ahead of Saturday's Nevada Democratic caucuses are too close to call. Bernie Sanders is hoping to build momentum following his win in last week's New Hampshire primary.
Everything in my political gut tells me that we have the momentum here in this state.
But Hillary Clinton says the smart money is on her for a silver state win.
We're going to go out and we're going to convince people to caucus on Saturday. Then we're going on to South Carolina.
A new CNN ORC poll suggests that Sanders and Clinton are in a dead heat, with 48% of likely caucus goers saying they support Clinton and 47% backing Sanders.
Meanwhile, a new poll finds Donald Trump continuing to hold a commanding lead in the Republican primary race. A national CBS New York Times poll released today has Trump topping the field with 35% support. He's followed by Ted Cruz with 18% and Marco Rubio with 12%. The CBS poll comes a day after an NBC Wall Street Journal poll showed Cruz with a slight lead over Trump, 28 to 26%. But the CBS spread among the top three candidates is consistent with most other recent national polling. The South Carolina primary is Saturday.
Virginia residents will vote in less than 2 weeks. They can vote in either the Republican or Democratic presidential primaries. Local party committees are discussing how to help their respective parties. Nelson Helm has the story.
Approaching and local political committees are looking forward to the big day. 13 states, including Virginia, will hold presidential primaries on March 1st. Experts consider the Commonwealth to be a battleground state in the race for the presidency. Chairman of the Rockbridge Area Republican Committee, Roger Jarrell, said that the organization began reaching out to residents 2 years ago when he was elected. Gerald said the organization has been trying to organize more on a grassroots level.
Just been going to organizations, bringing new people in, trying to revitalize the party structure, bringing in younger people, trying to appeal to a broader base of folks.
Gerald's Democratic counterpart, Gene Zitfer, said that he hoped to see an increase in participation at the state and local level after the primaries. Zitfer said that these races were just as important as a presidential election.
Especially in this area, need to do some catching up.
Neither committee has released a statement on who they want to see win the nomination. Lexington resident Siobhan Deeds hopes to see Hillary Clinton in the White House.
I like Bernie a lot, and I believe in everything that he wants for the United States. However, I don't think he will get much through Congress. So Hillary can work with both sides of the aisle, and I think she'll get things done as far as she can.
Rockbridge County Registrar Marilyn Earhart said her office is preparing for a larger than normal turnout. She said her office is preparing for close to 60% of eligible voters to participate in the March 1st primaries. Earhart said that this is because of the level of excitement that candidates on both sides of the spectrum have generated. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Nelson Helm.
Earhart said that in the 2008 primaries, only 33% of eligible voters came to the polls. Washington and Lee brought in some big-name politicians for mock convention this past weekend. The Rockbridge Report caught up with some of the speakers at the convention.
13 speakers addressed audiences at Washington and Lee's 26th mock convention this weekend. Each speaker offered a particular take on issues important to the Republican Party. The Rockbridge Report was allowed access to these speakers after they had finished addressing the crowd. Former House Speaker Newt Gingrich spoke about how he hoped future generations would integrate technology with policy.
I think when you look at, if you integrate the smartphone into the delivery of public goods and services, you save an enormous amount of money.
Economist Steve Moore took the stage early Saturday to talk about how the government should take a limited role in the economy. He also said that fossil fuels are the backbone of the economy and that we should not invest in greener technologies.
Let me put it really simply. We're not going to provide enough power for an $18 trillion economy with windmills. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. We're going to use oil, we're going to use gas, we're going to use nuclear power, we're going to use coal, we're going to use hydropower. We should use whatever is the most economical and efficient.
Washington and Lee graduate and Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin delivered the keynote address for the convention. He reflected on being nominated for the vice presidency.
But as somebody who graduated from here, as somebody who worked here for 4 years and went to school here for 4 years and was an athlete for 4 years and was in ROTC for 4 years and left some of my blood, sweat, and toil in the dirt of Lexington to come back here to stand on that stage, to be given that nomination, honorary or otherwise, just a great joy, really a tremendous joy.
For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Isidro Camacho.
Speakers would not disclose whether or not they were happy with the results.
Coming up on the Rockbridge Report, Buena Vista is getting older. We'll examine how that might affect how their tax dollars are spent. And later, a fire gutted a student rental house last week. We'll tell you how it started.
If you don't fix them, sparks from dragging tow chains could cause a wildfire, and that could be scary.
Not smoky.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
this way. He doesn't even know that we're here. Is he okay? Please tell me he's okay.
Laura.
Okay, try to call him again.
There's no signal.
Try.
Nothing's working.
Well, just
Everything's
try.
down.
This is so bad. He's out there by himself.
Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov.
Students in Lexington and Rockbridge County can expect a change in their school calendar next fall. The first semester will wrap up before the holiday break. In past years, it finished 2 weeks after the break. The Vice Superintendent of Rockbridge County Schools, Philip Thompson, says this change will help students to be better prepared for midterm exams. School will also start a few days earlier following the summer break. The Rockbridge County academic calendar has already been approved, and Lexington hopes to have its calendar approved in March.
This week we've seen some colder temperatures. Claire Spots joins us now to say what we can expect from the weather in the next few days.
That's right, Paula. We have had some cooler temperatures early this week, but it looks like sunny weather is coming our way. Let's take a look at our forecast. The high for today is 43 degrees with a low of 23 degrees. With mostly sunny skies outside, the barometer reads in at 30.45 inches. Humidity stands at 37%. Winds are coming in from the east at 6 miles per hour. Looking at our regional conditions, you'll see most areas are pretty good in the low to mid 40s. Sunny skies, with the exception of Covington, which stands at 32 degrees. Looking now at our satellite radar composite, you'll see warmer weather moving in, which could affect our weekend. Looking at our 5-day forecast, you'll see temperatures slowly begin to rise on Friday to 48 degrees with sunny skies. So those sunny skies will follow us into Saturday with the highs in upper 50s, just barely missing 60 degrees. Unfortunately, clouds will return to us on Sunday, bringing with them cooler temperature and the possibility of rain falling into next week. Back to you.
Looking good, Claire. The Lexington Fire Department sees the most activity during the winter. Last week, a fire raged until 4 in the morning in a student apartment building. Reporter Isidro Camacho, who was also living in the building, has the story.
Last Tuesday, a fire destroyed a house on Randolph and Massey Street. The blaze left 10 Washington Lee University students without homes. According to Fire Chief Ty Dickerson, the fire was started by a cigarette butt on the outside staircase.
A cigarette down in a crack in the wood or in between cushions on a piece of overstuffed furniture can smolder for hours before the right conditions come along, the right little gust of wind or something that lets it break into a flame.
The blaze came as a shock to students living inside the house. By the time the fire reached a point to trigger the smoke alarms, it was nearly 2 o'clock in the morning.
I had heard the fire alarm and just kind of assumed that it was someone made popcorn or something. I grabbed my clothes and ran outside and put them on outside and saw that the whole roof was on fire.
Dickerson and his team determined the cause after investigating the remains of the house.
Where was the origin of the fire? Where was the damage the most heavy? So you start with the least damaged areas and you work back to the most heavily damaged area.
There was another fire the following day on Fuller Street. It was started by an improperly cleaned chimney, according to the Lexington Fire Department. Chief Dickerson said there are several ways a person can ensure safety while heating a home with a wood stove this winter.
Using the right type of wood, well-seasoned hardwood, and cleaning the chimney regularly yourself and having it inspected and professionally cleaned by an expert.
Dickerson said that fires are either started by human error or machine error. He hopes people start making smart choices. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Isidro Camacho.
A presidential candidate doesn't think it's truly possible to vet refugees. However, some may be coming to Lexington this spring.
Tourists aren't just coming to Rockbridge County for its history, they're also coming to the farms. We'll tell you more next.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your GED.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future and sign up for free classes now at yourged.org.
If you store your guns properly, I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories.
And I won't have to tell my kids
This isn't a drill.
Please.
Please, do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always, lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
No more pencils, no more books.
No more teachers, dirty looks.
School's out for summer.
What this place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%.
To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org, because great things happen when we live united.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
The Lexington area will be ready to welcome as many as 3 refugee families by the spring. The Refugee Working Group will hold its 3rd meeting on February 24th to organize its more than 250 volunteers. The group is an interfaith coalition that has been working since last fall to resettle refugees right here in Rockbridge County. The possibility of resettlement of Syrian refugees in the United States has been a hotly debated topic over the past few months. But lead coordinator of the working group, Jerry Ney, says he has encountered very little local backlash against resettling refugees in the area. Although it seems the Rockbridge area might be ready to accept refugees, some on the political campaign trail are not. Rubio appeared in CNN's town hall last night. South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley endorsed Rubio last night, just 3 days before the state's Republican.
It's possible to vet people now from that part of the world. We don't have a database to rely on. You can't just call up 1-800-SYRIA and ask them, do you know so-and-so, and do you know who they are and why they're coming? It's just become harder and harder to vet people from certain parts of the world. So my point is, we'll always be a country that's open to refugees, but in the 21st century, if we don't know who you are and we don't know why you're coming 100% for sure, we're not going to be able to allow you to come in, because the threat we face is so significant now and so real.
South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley endorsed Rubio last night, just 3 days before the state's Republican primary. Washington and Lee's mock convention drew to a close this weekend.
But some students are still talking about one controversial speaker. Jordan Cohen has the story.
Washington and Lee's mock convention boasted a lineup of well-known political faces in the Republican Party. Among them, Republican political pundit and frequent guest on the O'Reilly Factor, Ann Coulter, who spoke on the topic of immigration as the second-to-last speaker Friday evening.
Everyone was hysterical when Donald Trump used the phrase anchor babies. They don't want people to notice what anchor babies are, that citizenship in the greatest country in the world is based on a game of Red Rover with the Border Patrol.
Coulter's controversial speech garnered mixed reactions from Washington and Lee students, some of whom booed as Coulter left the stage.
A lot of it just seemed a little outlandish and aggressive. I really think that she was a little bit far-fetched in saying that ISIS was caused by the Immigration Act that Ted Kennedy passed.
Speakers Committee co-chair Paul Lagarde said although her speech was controversial, Coulter represented an important part of Republican ideology on immigration.
Her stance on immigration is one that is shared by a large portion of the Republican Party that has largely fueled Donald Trump's rise in the polls so far. And so I think that regardless of anyone's personal opinions on it, I think that it's important to understand where she's coming from.
Cade Kinlawn said it was Coulter's delivery and not her message that angered some audience members.
I thought she had good points, but the way she spoke really kind of turned some people off.
A mock convention source tells the Rockbridge Report that Coulter received $15,000 for her speech. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Jordan Cohen.
A mock convention source says Coulter's fee was less than most other speakers at the convention.
Buena Vista might need to consider moving city funds away from public schools and to services that benefit the elderly. The last Census Bureau estimate showed a 2% increase in the number of elderly people in the area. City officials are worried that young people are not moving to the city. And City Councilman Steve Baldridge said that they may need to look at funding. But he also said that millennials are more likely to move to cities with strong public schools, good restaurants, and public transportation systems. Nothing is official yet.
A local community college has seen full enrollment in their vocational career programs in recent years. Dabney S. Lancaster Community College has particularly high demands for its welding program. The program runs up to 3 semesters. It is also offered as a dual enrollment program for high school students looking to get a head start in the career. Classes cost about $160 per credit hour, but there's usually a wait list. To graduate from the program, students must first pass the welder qualification test that matches the industry standard.
Dozens of businesses in Rockbridge County are part of the Shenandoah Valley's Fields of Gold program. This unites regional businesses together under one brand to promote local agriculture and tourism. Henry Lozado reports.
Shenandoah Valley is known for its farming and its natural beauty. Fields of Gold is a region-wide program to market the Shenandoah Valley's agricultural tourism sites and activities under one name. The organization markets destinations in 8 counties and 5 cities in Virginia. Many businesses in Rockbridge County are members. Susan Meester runs Cabin Spring Farm, where she raises sheep and offers on-farm lodging.
We are with the Fields of Gold listed as an experiencing the farm. They have several different categories, and we're under experiencing the farm. And so people come for farm tours.
Fields of Gold promotes farm tours and experiences like Cabin Spring Farm. They also market locally sourced businesses and restaurants, such as Pure Eats, Mono Taqueria, and the Southern Inn. The Lexington Farmers Market is one of the member businesses. Market manager Mitch Wapner says Fields of Gold has been a success.
Fields of Gold has been good for both the farmers market and the individual farmers.
Business owners in the area agree that being a member is a positive experience.
We did have some visitors from out of state that said they found their site or our website through some local organization, and we're pretty sure it was Fields of Gold.
But what's great about them was the way they connected people together, and they made the maps, and they made the information's been available.
Fields of Gold says it hopes to turn the Shenandoah Valley into the #1 destination for agritourism. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Henry Lozado.
We'll tell you which dog was crowned victorious at the Westminster Kennel Show earlier this week. Lexington is serving up breakfast and a series of morning meetings to promote business growth in the area. We'll tell you more next.
Jimmy can't sing, and Tommy can't dance, so we're gonna put some ants in their pants. Aww.
Kids will spend 22 minutes watching us, the super duper party troopers, sing about ants in their pants.
Isn't that funny? Ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time. Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Enroll, we say, we want you to be okay. Enroll, we say, take care, people, for goodness sake. There's a
plan for every budget, so don't accept defeat.
Now you can get covered and still buy me treats.
You take care of your pets. Now it's their turn to take care of you. Visit getcoveredamerica.org to learn about your health insurance options.
Breaking now on the Rockbridge Report, there's been an accident on Interstate 81 at mile marker 192. This is causing delays northbound on 81 and eastbound on I-64. Drivers are to avoid the area. The German short-haired pointer CJ took home Best in Show at the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show on Tuesday. The 3-year-old dog beat more than 2,700 other entries. The show is held at Madison Square Garden and is the most prestigious dog show in the nation. The first place dog wins no money, but does win breeding rights for a short time, as well as a legacy in dogdom forever.
Local hoops are hitting the home stretch, and one BV baseball star is back in action. Over to Ashley Faulkner now with sports.
Thanks so much, Polly. But first, let's talk about some NASCAR. This weekend starts the 2016 NASCAR season. The Daytona 500 is Sunday, but today marks the 15th anniversary of the death of one of NASCAR's best. Dale Earnhardt crashed and died in the final lap of the 2001 Daytona 500, and many safety measures have been implemented since then to protect drivers and the fans. In-car restraints and padded walls have helped protect drivers during crashes, and higher safety fences have helped protect the spectators from cars that go airborne. Driver of the Napa Auto Parts number 24, Chase Elliott, will lead the pack out Sunday afternoon, with coverage starting on Fox at 1:30. Pitchers and catchers officially reported to spring training starting Thursday, and Buena Vista's own Charlie Manuel is back with the Philadelphia Phillies. Manuel was the Phillies manager in the 2008 World Series when they beat the Tampa Bay Rays for the team's second World Championship. He will serve as a guest instructor alongside new Phillies manager Pete Mackanin. In college basketball, Washington and Lee's men's team dropped a tough one last night, losing to Eastern Mennonite 96-74. But Washington and Lee's women beat Shenandoah 67-42 on Wednesday. Both teams will play this weekend before starting the ODAC tournament next week. VMI's men's basketball team takes the hardwood tonight in Chattanooga. The Keydets played February 11th. They beat UNC Greensboro 86-72 and registered 5 players in double figures in their last game. In high school hoops, Rockbridge County men's and women's teams lost to Allegheny last night. Both of Perry McClure's basketball teams play away tonight at 5:30. And congratulations to Washington and Lee's men's and women's swimming teams. The Generals won the ODAC championships last weekend in Greensboro, North Carolina. This was the men's 2nd consecutive title and the women's 9th in a row and 26th overall. That's all for sports. Back to you, Polly and Keenan.
Thanks a lot, Ashley. Rockbridge business owners are breaking bread with each other and elected officials. This is a series of morning meetings called Business at Breakfast. The goals are to grow connections as well as business. Lindsay Castleberry attended the inaugural event last Friday at Sweet Treats.
It was a full house at the first ever Business at Breakfast event. Members of the community gathered for a speaker series that provided relevant business information, local insights, and a hot breakfast, all before 9 a.m. Dabney S. Lancaster Community College sponsored this month's session.
People are very excited. They just, they're always looking for ways to get out there and connect and grow their businesses and just learn about what's going on. So I think they're very excited about it. And obviously from day we had a good turnout, so I'm excited to see what it grows into.
There was a sense of optimism in the room as Carrie Chenery of the Shenandoah Valley Partnership forecast the economy and highlighted future business initiatives for the valley.
No one thinks I can have a business there, I can be successful there, I can relocate there. They might, but they're not thinking in terms of conversations that we're having at economic development. So we're trying to increase that brand. Some of the things going on with tourism and outdoor branding initiative are things that are going to be really interesting for us.
Tracy Lyons said Lexington's economy has experienced an upturn, with many downtown shops full and few storefronts open. The goal of the series is to continue cultivating business growth in the area.
I think a lot of times when you get different business owners together, they can come up with some great ideas and share great ideas, and they can do lots of new things that they never thought they could do on their own.
The next breakfast will cover tourism. In April, the Chamber will lead a discussion on millennials, with hopes that local business owners can better connect with the third generation. If attendance remains high, Lyons said she hopes to continue business at breakfast throughout the year. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Lindsay Castleberry.
That's all for today's Rockbridge Report. Stay tuned for reporter Kylie Sapp's interview with author Alexa Clay.
Join us next Thursday and visit our website anytime at rockbridgereport.wlu.edu. Thanks so much for watching.